I would like to call the Lancaster Central School District Board of Education meeting to order. In the unlikely event of an emergency, if we have to evacuate the room, please note the locations of the exits. At this time, I ask you to silence your cell phones and rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. And please remain standing for a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And tonight we stand for Vince Kane, a social studies teacher at the high school from 1960 through 1992, who passed away on June 9th, 2019. Thank you, everyone. Please note that Jill Fetcher and Glenn Jackson are excused tonight as they are both traveling for work. And I'd also like to welcome our special guests, Bob and Karen Gallagher, who are here in support of their son, Bill. So thank you for coming. We did have two presentations planned for this evening, but we have, due to a vacation snafu or some travel difficulties, the Lottie system versus the valedictorian-salutatorian system presented by two students will be presented at a future date. So we'll start with 4.1, which is our Model UN recognition with Mrs. Marianne Pantera and her students.
Hi everyone, my name is Maeve Devine and I'm the president of Model UN.
I'm Sophia Brewer, the treasurer. Before I begin, I would like to give my sincerest thanks to Mrs. Pantera. I truly feel that she does not receive enough credit. Never have I worked with a teacher and advisors who so perfectly encompasses the roles of mentor and educator so completely, not only in the field of education and politics, but also in values. It has been an honor working alongside her, my partner Maeve, during my junior year. While competing at St. Bonaventure, Maeve and I had the privilege of representing China on the Human Rights Council. I'm sure you could imagine it was rather challenging to represent a country with a foreign policy so different from ours. But it was very intriguing, and the topics were a pleasure to work with. Our delegations came from Bonaventure with a bounty of honors. The Lancaster team received several awards of excellence, superiority, and lastly, third place overall, a feat that we could not have accomplished without the formidable presence and effort of the students, coupled with the help and support of Mrs. Pantera and Mrs. L.
Hi, I'd just like to talk a little bit about our year and what we did. So we attended two Model UN conferences this year, one at Canisius and one at St. Bonaventure, like Sophia just talked about. They were both amazing learning experiences and have been a memorable part of my junior year and my whole high school career. At Canisius, Sophia, Gabby, and I, we represented the United Kingdom on the Security Council. Lancaster went home with several awards, such as the Best Delegation and Best Delegate awards, so we did really well at that conference, and it was so much fun. Everyone enjoyed the challenges presented and had a great deal of fun with the delegations from other schools. We got to debate and make real-world decisions just like we were in the real UN. Model UN has been one of my favorite clubs in high school and helped me gain a lot of confidence in knowing what I want to do in life. I'm really interested in politics and international relations, and this really solidified my interest in that. I've been in Model UN since freshman year and I've enjoyed all of it and all of the experiences that went along with it, even though it was extremely nerve-wracking to speak in front of so many people in the beginning, in front of a huge conference with about 100 kids, and I didn't even speak the first time, but I've warmed up to it. And again, I'd like to thank Ms. Pantera and Ms. L for making this such a great experience for all of us. And next year, we aim to attend the Cornell Conference. It's an international Model UN competition that hosts people from all corners of the globe, so it's a really cool international conference. Our team has excelled at competitions, and we hope to continue our growth as an organization in a bigger conference like this one. We are all beyond excited for the challenges next year's conference will hold and would like to thank the school board for recognizing our organization's achievements. I hope you all have a wonderful evening, and the LHS Model UN wishes you the best of luck in your future endeavors. Thanks.
For Canisius Best Delegation. Sophie Brewer, Best Delegation, Canisius. Gabby Prince, Canisius Best Delegation. Best delegation at Canisius. He had best delegate, which is the first time honor that Canisius has ever given to a delegate at their conference. So this was a huge honor for Lancaster. Meg Devine again, first place medal for St. Bonaventure. Sophie Brewer, first place medal, Bonaventure. Noah again, second place medal of excellence at St. Bonaventure. Maya Cronin, second place medal at St. Bonaventure. And Elliot's not here tonight. Some of our students are juniors and they're taking the physics exam tomorrow. Elliot also received a Best Delegate Award at St. Bonaventure, which is the highest honor you can get. So we had a really great year at Canisius and Bonaventure, and I feel that for the first time in a long time, I have a delegation that is worthy of competing at an international level, and that will be at Cornell this year. So I'm very excited. We're very excited about that. We also would like to present Mr. Marchioli, Superintendent Valley. We'd like to present you with the plaque that we received for the third place victory. Thank you so very much. Thanks. We're going to keep this in the display, in the rewards display. Yep. Thank you again for all your support.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Pantera and students. Move on to 5.0 correspondence. Did anyone from the board receive any correspondence they'd like to speak of? Okay. I did receive an email from Wendy Buckert, who had requested her daughter Jillian will be graduating this year. And she'd like to be on the stage to give her her diploma. Our board policy states that former trustees can hand their diplomas to their children. And we're going to enforce this policy to make sure that Lancaster graduation remains about the students only as we move forward. Any other correspondence? 6.0, approval of minutes. 6.1, could I have a motion to approve the regular session minutes from June 3rd, 2019?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? So moved. 7.0, items from staff organizations. Anyone from the Lancaster Administrative and Supervisory Association?
We recognize what a tremendous commitment it is to be a Board of Ed member. We wanted to take this time to thank Sue and Bill for your dedication to Lancaster schools. All the hours that you put in, all your dedication and hard work for the students of Lancaster, we truly appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Anyone from the Lancaster Central Teachers Association?
Mrs. Adamak always steals my thunder, so
Sorry, Don.
can we flip this maybe? So, you know, in the future, we get to go first. We appreciate Mrs. Metz and Mr. Gallagher's dedication and their hard work for the time that they spent on the board. It's a thankless job, and we truly do appreciate all that you've done for all the people in Lancaster and our students. We would also like to recognize and wish well to all the retirees in the district as they end this chapter and move on to the next phase of their life, especially the teachers, Rayanne Becker, Elaine Pantine, Mary Jane Gagloff, Deborah Crumpiner, Gary Lee, Tom Murphy, Charlene Scheicher, Mary Zadkowski, Deb Tonseline, Kathy Topper, and Janet Better. They've given a tremendous amount to this district, and we appreciate everything that they've done. Wish them well in their future, and we thank you for allowing them to work with us.
Thank you, Mr. Chris. Anyone from the Lancaster Association of Service Personnel? And anyone from the Lancaster Association of Substitute Teachers? Thank you. 8.0 board reports. Does anyone from the board have anything they'd like to report on before we get to 8.1, 2, and 3? Okay. 8.1 is a review of 2018-19 district goals. And for posterity, I'll read through each of the district goals and the manner in which the district moved to achieve those. Policy and board presentations. Update the board and the community on the ESSA/NICED reform agenda, including their impact on Lancaster students and the district. On March 8th, 2019, Andrew Kufel, Karen Marchioli, Andrew Kresmian, Michelle Ziegler, John Armstrong, and Sandy Camerata updated the Board of Education and the community on the Every Student Succeeds Act. The focus was to provide information about the 7 measures of success, accountability, under the new legislation. Additionally, the team was able to provide a glimpse of LCSD data for each of the 7 measures. Going forward, we as a district will utilize the measures and the accompanying data to help set goals, create supports, and make decisions that benefit the students of Lancaster. Thoroughly review each of the 4 SES study options and communicate to the board and the opportunities and challenges of each. This fall, the superintendent convened an SES study team to meet monthly to collect data and to determine the pros, cons, and in essence, the doability of each option presented by the SES group. The committee's work was extensive. A few of the area studies were: 1, the safety issues presented by 2 of the SES options with regard to the student drop-off and pickup. 2, the parking lot capacity of each school versus the number of buses needed to drop off and pick up in the different SES options. 3, January's enrollment and the projection data coupled with kindergarten registration numbers in March and their effects on each K-3 school and their short-term and long-term programming. 4, current transportation boundaries as well as boundary scenarios in each of the SES options. 5, a small transportation study was conducted to determine if buses could efficiently travel between Hillview and Sholey and to document the time it took to do that route. And 6, the district's architects are evaluating the viability and cost of adding an addition onto each K-3 school. Finally, the solutions to the problem and the variables affected by the solutions are complex. Therefore, this year, the Board of Education will spend some time listening to the data gathered and planning for the future. Student achievement. Using research on student achievement and as its base, determine future steps to the district's professional development plan. The LCSD curriculum instruction and PPS team utilized the extended days at each of the buildings to begin the process of reviewing the book Visible Learning, which is the synthesis of research by John Hattie. In total, the team conducted 15 sessions over the weeks to accommodate the nearly 500 teachers district-wide. In addition, the teacher leaders have been part of the journey with the directors to help determine future steps that align with the previous work around classroom instruction that works and Kagan cooperative learning. Create and implement Lancaster High School's new 9 through 12 alternative program. The alternative program has been fully implemented and is completing a successful first year. The program has been successful for a variety of reasons, but most importantly, the individual educators who comprise the program have a genuine care for the students and have created a culture conducive to learning. The program represents a cross-section of our student population who, due to a variety of factors, academic, attendance, socioeconomical, social emotional have not achieved success in the traditional setting. The focus of the program is to help build relationships with the students to create a family team feel that while providing social emotional support and alternative modes of instruction. Success can be defined in a multitude of ways. 3 ways that stand out are: 1, students are attending school, 85% attendance rate; 2, students are passing Regents exams, 66% proficiency rate for January exams; and students are passing courses, 88% passing rate for earned credit course. Explore the expansion of the New York State Career Technical Training or Technical Education CTE endorsement for LCSD academies. Examples: health careers, trades, Project Lead the Way, finance. Kathy Wilson, Peter Herscher, Scott Dixon, and Terry Adamek, under the direction and support of Andrew Kufel and Andrew Kresmian, have worked countless hours to submit applications to expand the programs for which students receive CTE technical endorsement. The 4 programs are the Academy of Hospitality and Tourism, Business and Marketing, Family and Consumer Science, Food and Nutrition, and the Academy of Finance. At this point, no school in Western New York has more approved programs than us. Health and Safety. Review mental health policies, procedures, and curriculum and make adjustments based on student needs and new state regulations. The state of New York put out new mental health standards at the start of the academic year. In response to the issuance of those standards, the district assembled a team of teachers, counselors, social workers, psychologists, administrators, and other related personnel to review our current practices when it comes to meeting the mental health standards for our students in Lancaster. The committee had broken down into subcommittees to work on the audits for their individual grade level bands. The audit work is wrapping up, and the large committee will be getting back together to review the work and begin the development of curriculum writing for all grade levels. During this next phase of the committee work, the group will explore options to strengthen current programming to meet the new mental health standards. We will be continuing this work into the next school year and will review our plan annually to ensure we are meeting the needs of our students. Review pre-K through 12 building safety and security measures and procedures and implement Board of Education approved enhancements. Jamie Phillips, Jackie Bull, Carrie Green, SRO Lower, and Lieutenant Detective Robinson presented the district's past, present, and future safety initiatives to the board on November 5th. With the $500,000 allocation in the 2018-19 budget for safety and security measures, the district engaged in the services of a national expert to perform thorough threat assessments and recommendations for improvement at each building. A 3rd SRO was added and staffed. Door numbers and wedges were purchased, cameras were added to each school's main entrance to enhance vetting procedures and visibility, and window film for hardening doors and windows in numerous locations throughout the district's facilities was bid out, awarded, and will be installed this summer. The district was also subject to a random audit by the Office of the State Controller's Office on school safety plans to determine whether the district used its resources to develop, adopt, file, and implement safety plans in compliance with the New York State SAVE Act. The report will be released in the coming month or so, and the district will respond with a corrective action plan. In response to their findings, adjustments to existing plans and procedures have already begun. Finance and operations, paying special attention to the building condition survey 5-year plan, assist in moving a 2018 bond issue forward from inception through community approval. The board worked with the architects and district administration to create a project scope that addresses many of the district's needs noted in the 2015 building condition survey. At the retreat in September, the board finalized the scope and reviewed the financial implications. At the end of the September 17th board meeting, the board officially authorized a $77.1 million project, and the community vote was held on December 11th. The project was overwhelmingly approved with 1,417 yes votes and 2,017 no votes. The project is now in the planning phases, and construction is expected to begin in the spring of 2020 and continue through 2024 through 2025. Move phase 7, 8, and 9 of the 2015 bond issue forward from approval stage to construction. Phase 7 work at the high school, the Black Box Theater, Art Gallery, multi-purpose space, and pool has continued throughout the school year and will be open and operational for the start of the 2019-20 school year. Bids were awarded by the board in April and May for the remainder of the phase 7, 8, and 9 work, which will be completed in the summer of 2019. This includes additional phase 7 work at the high school, boiler room equipment demo and replacement, unit ventilators and other heating equipment throughout the entire school, library renovations, nurse office renovations, principal's office renovations, and new floors and doors in the field house. Renovations and repairs at Como Park, library renovations, interior door replacement, some HVAC exhaust fan replacements and replacement of an AC unit in a data closet, renovations at repairs at Court Street, main office renovation, library renovation, exterior sidewalk replacement, and AC and exhaust fan replacements. Renovations at John A. Sholey, library renovation and exhaust fan and AC replacements, and the build-out of a concessions building in the former bus garage. In addition, the main entry at Court Street received safety and security upgrades under the 2018-19 capital outlay project, and the fuel tanks at the old bus garage will be removed this coming summer. Bi-weekly OACM meetings and daily communication with the architects and construction managers occur, including weekly updates to the board on work accomplished and accompanying photographs. Prepare the district for the 2019-20 implementation of building level, per pupil budget and expenditure reporting per New York State Education Law 3614 from Chapter 59 of the laws 2018 and U.S. Department of Education's ESSA requirements. Jamie Phillips and Carol Peck have reviewed the regulations, have attended several workshops and webinars on the topic. ESSA regulations have not yet been set forth, so no adjustments can be made at this time to prepare for the 2020 reporting requirement. The New York State reporting will be completed for the first time this summer, and if there are adjustments to internal practices to make the reporting more streamlined, they will be made for subsequent years. No changes need to be made to the budgeting process or manner in which the budget is presented to the community. Labor relations, finally, negotiate fair and reasonable labor agreements with the LCTA, LASP, LAST, LASA, managerial administration, and confidential employees. 3-year contract extensions were achieved with LASA, LASP, LAST, and confidential employees through 2022. 4-year contract extensions were negotiated with the LCTA and the managerial administrative group through 2023. In addition, a retirement incentive was offered to LASP, LCTA, and the confidential employees, resulting in 31 retirements and subsequent year budget reductions of $662,000. Thank you for listening to all of that. 8.2, we have a NYSBA recognition for trustee Mike Sage. Mr. Sage has received a certificate of achievement in recognition of reaching a 75-point level in New York State School Board Association training and development. Congratulations, Mr. Sage. And now we come to 8.3, our service awards, and this is sort of a bittersweet time in the evening, where at this meeting, which is just before our reorganization meeting in July, if board members, in this case, who have chosen not to seek a new term, are departing us, and this will be their last meeting. So I'd like to say a few words and present Sue Metz and Bill Gallagher with some gifts. And we'll start with Mrs. Metz. I prepared a little something, Sue, so I don't miss anything or screw anything up. Sue, very simply, your 3 years on the Lancaster School Board have been impactful, to say the very least. I remember when we first talked about a potential run for you, when we met for coffee at the Olive Tree restaurant. It seems like an eternity ago. It really does. We had a very nice talk. I was struck by your very kind and intelligent manner, and I left there thinking, man, I hope she runs. Man, I hope she runs. And thankfully you did. And for those of you that don't remember, Lancaster was at a crossroads during that election. Our school district could have gone in a very different direction had the outcome not led to the election of Sue Metz and Bill Gallagher. And I say those in that order because Sue was the top vote getter. Bill Gallagher was second. Just saying. Just saying. So having you, Sue, as a candidate gave Lancaster the easy choice for compassion, empathy, perspective, class, and for always keeping the school board's decisions about kids and about nothing else. And even though yours and Bill's were remarkable and overwhelming victories, I still remember a nervous election night and a joyous relief, and then going to alley-oops with our families, only to find out they were no longer serving food, even though we hadn't eaten all day because of our nervous stomachs. And then so my wife, Missy, Donovan, Nessa, and Patrick, were going to go across the street to buy some snacks from the gas station. And my wife said, or you said to my wife, well, let me give you some money. And she says, get out of town. And your response was, I can't, I just got elected to the school board. So, and your presence, Sue, on this board helped facilitate the elections of Mike Sage, Glenn Jackson, myself, Shannon Cohen, Jill Fetcher, and now Kevin Davenport and John Tellerico, because Lancaster wants this district to keep moving forward and to continue to grow, evolve, and prosper, and you've helped us to do that. So I thank you. Our community thanks you for giving of yourself in so many ways to the benefit of our school district. So I have great admiration for you, and I'm honored to call you my friend. So thank you very much.
I would just like to say, while I appreciate the thank you and the kind words, I feel like I should be thanking you guys. I was afforded an amazing opportunity to volunteer in this school district since 2005 in various PTOs, district PTOs, committees, and Board of Ed. I have believed in this school district from day one. I will always believe in it, and I will be really sad when Donovan graduates next year. I like to think that Donovan is proud of me for doing it, and I also would like to think that if James were here, he would be proud of me as well. And so thank you for everything and for believing in me. Thank you.
And we have some presentations, and we'd like to take some pictures, but we'll move on to saying goodbye to our friend Bill Gallagher. And then if anyone else from the board would like to share anything, please speak up after we give out their presents. So Bill, I'm so glad you've been a part of this board for the last 6 years. I think you're one of the smartest guys I know, and I learn something from you every time I'm in your presence. I remember when I met you, Bill, and I remember liking you instantly, and that's a strange thing for me. You have a presence and perspective that is wise as well as reassuring. When I would be nervous about a meeting as the time approached, I instantly felt better after sitting down next to you. I'm so thankful to have had you as part of the group of people who sustained Lancaster through a nasty period of attacks, conspiracy theories, and needless selfish drama. Thanks to you and your group, or in our group, logic has prevailed, and the Lancaster School District has continued to grow and thrive. We, my friend, are on the right side of history, and the ones on the wrong side have been left behind. And I remember the Meet the Candidates night when you had such a strong showing with your intelligent and thoughtful answers, that you had people who came determined to hate you, scratching their heads going, well, he makes a lot of sense. And so, as we say, the rest is history. So Bill, I thank you on the behalf of our community. And again, let me say how much I admire and respect you, and what an honor it is to call you my friend. Sure.
Well, I did type out a speech because I didn't want to forget anything or anyone. So you'll bear with me while I try not to cry. So good evening. I know we often share events and happenings that are going on within the district, but I was hoping to share a few thanks as I wrap up another great school year. First of all, I want to take the opportunity to thank the people of Lancaster for supporting me during the last 6 years on the Lancaster Board of Education. The elections in 2013 and 16, as well as the support the last 6 years for our kids, has been remarkable, and I can't thank them enough for all that they do for our students in Lancaster. I want to take the chance to thank my fellow board members, as well as the many who made an impact on me during the 6 years here. Past board members, Marie McKay, Ken Graber, Wendy Buckert, Kim Nowak, Bob Zakowski, Brenda Christopher, and Kelly Dubchinsky. Current board members, Jill Fetcher, Shannon Cohen, Glenn Jackson, Mike Sage, Sue Metz, and Patrick Uteg. Many of you I consider friends, and it was an honor to serve with all of you. May you always know that I'm only a phone call away should you ever need anything. Sue, and specifically, it's been a pleasure to work with you and see you on a regular basis the last few years. You're one of the strongest people that I've ever met, and I feel blessed to call you family. Thanks for running together 3 years ago and for being by my side in this journey. I think of you often, and I marvel at your resiliency. Patrick, I've been gifted with the chance to share many conversations with you the last few years. Your caring and thoughtful dialogue has made me a better person and educator. It has been a pleasure to watch you lead us to a better place, and I know we wouldn't have gotten here without all you do and all that you are, so thank you. Dr. Valley, it isn't often you come across someone with the amount of educational knowledge that you have. Whenever I had a question, you had the answer, usually within minutes, which is amazing considering all that goes on in this district. It was an honor to learn from you and know that many opportunities for our students started with you. In my opinion, you're the best superintendent in this area, as well as New York State and probably the country. You never settle for the status quo and are always looking to improve ways to reach each and every one of our students. Keep up the great work, and thanks for all that you do every day. Besides my father, there isn't anyone's opinion I value more in education. Jamie Phillips. Well, I guess you have Jamie to blame for me being here today. When you asked me if I was interested in running for the job and the board back in 2013, I actually was hoping you were offering me a job. Little did I know you gave me so much more. You are superior in what you do as a business administrator. You have planned ahead and made sure that we can weather the storm set by New York State. You oversee more departments than anyone I know. Your knowledge and attention to detail is unparalleled, and I know that we are in good financial hands with you. With all those accolades, you're an even better friend and beer pong partner. I will miss seeing you all the time, but I know our paths will cross again soon. Sandy Janik. For all those that don't know, Sandy sits and records everything that goes on at all of these meetings, and very rarely says anything. For those up here who do know, Sandy is the one who really runs the school district. Sandy, thanks for being the friendly voice every time I'm called to ask a question from Mike. Without you and all that you do around here, I know that we would all be lost. So you are truly one of a kind, and I will miss you very much. To all the administrators and others that I had the pleasure to meet and work with over the years, Marie Perini, Andy Kufel, Karen Marchioli, Andy Kresmian, Michelle Ziegler, Caesar Marchioli, Peter Krasinski, Jackie Bull, Molly Marcinelli, Carrie Green, Amy Moeller, Jackie Kleinert, John Armstrong, Sandy Camerata, and countless others that I have forgotten to name. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything. Lancaster is a special place thanks to all that you do for all the kids in this district. To the teachers in Lancaster, I'm not going anywhere because my kids have a few more years here. I would be remiss if I didn't thank you for all that you've meant to me as well as my kids throughout the years. I'm honored to have my children taught by so many caring individuals every day. You are the backbone of this district, and I know what you do every day is not an easy task, but you do it very well. Lastly, I want to take the opportunity to thank my family and friends. To my parents, my daughters Amelia and Ella, who are here today, my girlfriend Maria. You have given me immeasurable love and support over the years. I'm very lucky, and without you, there is no me. My glass has always been overflowing, and thanks to all of you, you have made me that way. Life isn't always fair or easy, but with all of you by my side, it's been nothing short of remarkable. To close, there is a mantra that I live by, and it comes from the final episode of the 1980s show Cheers. Fraser Crane, a character on the show, states, "Time goes by so fast. People move in and out of your life. You must never miss an opportunity to tell these people how much they mean to you. So thank you all for everything." Amelia and all are here, yeah. I wasn't sure they'd be here, but I hope the new bird.
So we'd like the Gallagher family to come up and take a picture. And Amelia and Ella, I can't see you behind the Crazeman there. And sorry, I didn't welcome you. That's my fault. Sorry about that. If you'd come up and we'd like to take a picture, if we could. Other board reports, does anyone have anything else they'd like to report on? I would just like to add that I attended a nice tribute for Mr. Gary Lee the other day, who's retiring after 37 years of service, and it was nice to see a lot of Lancaster people and families come back and do a nice tribute to him. And then I'd like to report one of the special things about Lancaster is the way that the students can get involved in many different activities and the appreciation they have for every single person who contributes to a quality education at Lancaster. My daughter Vanessa was involved in a custodial luncheon, which we were making pizzas, preparing pizzas in our home in preparation for a luncheon the next day where all the kids chip in and make food for the custodians, cook it, serve it, and I think it was just a very nice thing, and again, another example of how Lancaster is one of the best, if not the best district in this area. 9.0, Superintendent's Administrative Report, Dr. Valley.
Yeah, Superintendency 101 is don't steal the board president's thunder. So I will just tell you that there's a handwritten note coming your way, Sue and Bill. That's probably a good idea because I don't want to cry myself there. But thank you for everything that you've done. One quick story is, and I just thought of it, Mrs. Gallagher, Bill's mother, 6 years ago, she came up after the thing and she said, "Michael, take care of him. He's my favorite." I kept that secret for 6 years. The list of events, ceremonies, and academy graduations, field days, concerts, dances, proms, award ceremonies, et cetera, just to keep on going and going and going like the Energizer Bunny. The students and the adults in this district and community continue to celebrate their hard work and successes. I just wanted to thank all the adults around them, teachers, administrators, parents and family, etc., because they are the ones who create these opportunities for our children. So thank you to all the adults too for their time, effort, and love. It's a great time of year. Be safe and enjoy. Secondly, while the school year is coming to a close, the district and the board itself continues to plan and be forward-thinking. Mr. Uteg listed a big, long laundry list of things, capital projects, past and present, that are going on. The capital construction is once again ready to roll to the tune of $10 million this summer. Improvements and upgrades this summer from the 2015 capital project, and we will begin transitioning seamlessly, thanks to the Board of Education and the Lancaster community, into our 2018 capital project, which, as Mr. Uteg said, was passed December 2018. So much more to be excited about. And again, thank you to the Lancaster residents for their continued support of our schools and our children.
Thank you, Dr. Valley. 10.0 old business. Does anyone have any old business they'd like to discuss? 11.0 new business. 11.1 personnel items. 11.1.1 is the superintendent's employment contract. Could I have a motion to accept the contract? Any questions or comments? All those in favor? Aye. Those opposed? So moved. 11.1.2, could I have a motion to accept the personnel changes?
So moved.
Any questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? So moved. 11.2 are education items. 11.2.1, could I have a motion to accept the Committee on Special Education's report?
So moved. Second.
Any questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? So moved. 11.2.2, could I have a motion to accept the Committee on Preschool Special Education's report?
So moved. Second.
Any questions or comments? All those in favor? Aye. Those opposed? So moved. 12.0 business and financial items. 12.1, could I have a motion to accept the financial items?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? So moved. 12.2, policy adoption 6212, certification and qualifications. Could I have a motion to accept that policy?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments? All those in favor? Aye. Those opposed? So moved. 12.3 is an AIA contract with Young and Wright Architectural. Could I have a motion to accept that contract?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? So moved. 12.4, 12.5, and 12.6 are proposal acceptance for our continuing capital project from Encoris Group. IBC Engineering, and Stoll Environmental. Could I have a motion to accept those proposals?
So moved. Second.
Any questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? So moved. 12.7 is a contract with Pediatric Home Nursing Services, doing business as Aviana Healthcare. Could I have a motion to accept that contract?
Second.
Any questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? So moved. 12.8 is a contract with Sports Rehab Physical Therapy. Could I have a motion to accept that contract?
So moved. Second.
Any questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? So moved. 12.9 is a contract extension with Western New York Bus for summer 2019. Could I have a motion to accept that contract extension?
Second.
Any questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? So moved. 12.10 is a contract extension with, again, Western New York Bus for our 2019-2020 transportation. Could I have a motion to accept that contract extension?
So moved.
Any questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? So moved. 12.11 is a contract with BHSC Services. Could I have a motion to accept that contract?
Second.
Any questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? So moved. 12.12 is a Village of Lancaster request for a Como Park solar blinking light, which we will share the cost with the village. Could I have a motion to accept that request?
So moved.
Any questions or comments? All those in favor? Aye. Those opposed? So moved. 12.13 is construction change orders. Could I have a motion to accept those change orders?
Second.
Any questions or comments? All those in favor? Aye. Those opposed? So moved. 12.14 is our club creation for Environmental Action Club. Could I have a motion to accept that club's creation?
So moved.
Any questions or comments? All those in favor? Aye. Those opposed? So moved. 12.15 is a bid award for refuse and recycling. Could I have a motion to accept the bid?
So moved.
Questions or comments? All those in favor? Aye. Those opposed? So moved. 12.16 is an RFP award for OTPT. Could I have a motion to accept that award?
So moved. Second.
Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? So moved. 12.17, 18, and 19 are surplus equipment, books, and surplus and sale of buses. Could I have a motion to accept those items?
So moved.
Any questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? So moved. 12.20 is our employee benefits reserve. That is a transfer that's being done we pay out our retirement incentive. It goes to a sick day buyout, which goes to an escrow account. Could I have a motion to accept that transfer?
So moved. Second.
Any questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? So moved. 12.22 is a bond anticipation note sale results. Could I have a motion to, that's for information only. 12.23 is our, 12.22 is our 2019-2020 board meeting dates. Those are for information only as well. And then 12.23, our Board of Education retreat dates, and we have a couple dates set aside, 2 Saturdays in September and 1 Monday. So board members and Mr. Tallarico, Mr. Davenport, please look through those dates, and we'll discuss those at our next meeting.
Could we try to nail it down and whittle it down?
Sure. Well, I guess with the people here, and then we could follow up with Mr. Jackson and Mrs. Fetcher.
Only because nailing down a place and all that.
Sure.
Make reservations.
Do you have any, board members, do you have any specific dates that you?
I would prefer Saturday. Both of those have, revelry is the 28th, and there's a marching band competition on the 14th, but I can do it all. It's fine.
I'll be out of town on the 28th.
So the 14th is good for you?
Yes. Fine,
Okay. So 9/14 is maybe the tentative date, and we'll follow up with Mr. Jackson and Mrs. Fetcher, and we'll hammer that down. So I'll get in contact with each individual board member to decide that date. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, 13.0 is our public hearing. Welcome to all who have come to observe this meeting this evening. This is a time set aside for public hearing, a time when we invite members of the community to share ideas and concerns with us. We welcome this opportunity to hear from you. Each person is given up to 5 minutes in which to address the board. This is a meeting held in public rather than a public meeting, which means we will not be engaging in a dialogue with members of the community this evening. Rest assured, we are listening carefully. We take seriously what you have to say. I would like to ask you to demonstrate respect for us and for one another by speaking to the issues, giving us ideas, and sharing your opinions, not engaging in any personal attack. This policy will be strictly enforced, and anyone violating the policy will be barred from addressing the board in the future. Thank you for your cooperation. First, we have Brenda Christopher.
Good evening. I'm here to talk to you tonight about graduation. I'm sure Pat has already informed you of my visit. Pat, you had mentioned earlier in the board meeting that there's a board policy regarding former board members giving diplomas to family members, saying that it was only for their children. As far as I could tell, there is no such thing as that policy. It's a past practice, but not a policy. If I'm wrong, I'd like you to tell me so and point that out to me, but it's not official board policy at all. It's been a past practice that's been practiced for decades. For those on the board who may not have known, I have reached out to Pat back on May 14th asking permission to hand my niece and nephew their diploma come graduation time. I did it for their older brother in 2016, and I'd like to do it for the set of twins on this year's graduation. I did not hear back from Pat for a couple weeks, so I sent another message again, to which he responded that no, I couldn't do it unless it was my own children. At that time, I pointed out to him some examples of former board members who were in fact granted permission from him to give out diplomas that were to family members and not their own children. I wasn't asking for any special treatment. I wasn't asking for a ticket to graduation. I wasn't asking for a seat on the stage. I was simply asking for the same privileges that every other board member has been afforded. He has not responded to any emails since, hence the reason I am here. This is important to my family. Tonight, as a teacher myself, I am missing my 8th graders moving up day ceremony just to be here to speak with you because this is important to me. And I would like nothing more than just to simply hand my niece and nephew their diploma as one of the privileges that's been afforded to every former board member in the past. That's it. I'd appreciate if you would reconsider, Pat, and at least respond to my emails. Thank you.
Next, we have Joseph Maciejewski. Is Mr. Maciejewski here this evening? And next, we have Dakota Miller.
Good evening. My name is Dakota Miller, and I live at 270 Aurora Street, Lancaster, New York. I'm a senior at Lancaster High School, and I'm here to talk about graduation. On this upcoming Friday, the 28th, last week I wrote an email to Mr. Uteg, Mr. Valley, and Mr. Gallagher. I wrote him in an email, disclosed that I would like Brenda Christopher and Kelly Dobczynski to hand me my diploma. I was informed by Mr. Uteg a couple days later that it goes against a district policy at graduation and that only children of trustees of the board can have their parents hand them their diploma. I spoke with Brenda Christopher, and she informed me there is no such policy. High school graduation is a once-in-a-lifetime achievement, and I would like the two people that I have admired the most on this Board of Education to hand me my diploma, Ms. Christopher and Ms. Dobczynski. I would like to know why I was misinformed about the policy and why Ms. Christopher and Ms. Dobczynski cannot share this special day with me by handing me my diploma. I would like this issue addressed before graduation on Friday. Thank you for your time.
Okay, next we have our work session to discuss the 2019-2020 committee positions. And each school board has a variety of committees that they serve upon. First being the Delegate Assembly. That's a policy-making body of the association. Each member district appoints a school board member, alternate, and superintendent to serve. Delegates play a key role in advancing the Erie County Association of School Boards goals and mission. Last year, Mrs. Cohen served with Mrs. Metz as the alternative. The Budget and Finance team, that's a team that assists with budget development, conducts a regular review of the membership dues structure, and seeks alternative revenue sources. They meet 3 times per year. The Budget and Finance team last year was, Mr. Gallagher with myself as the alternate. The legislative team links Erie County Association of School Boards to lawmakers and the New York Board of Regents. They lobby and sponsor activities that support the need for school boards to anticipate trends and present recommendations for legislative issues and that escape local influence. The legislative team last year was Mrs. Fetcher with Mrs. Cohen as an alternate. The New York State School Boards Association, or NYSBA, we have a voting delegate and then a NYSBA liaison, and those were held by Mrs. Cohen and Mrs. Fetcher. And then lastly, our district committees, where we have the Audit Committee. Myself, Bill Gallagher, and Glenn Jackson were on the Audit Committee. The Food Service Committee was Mrs. Cohen and Mrs. Metz. The Building Use Committee was Mrs. Metz and Mr. Sage. The Health Insurance Committee was Mrs. Fetcher and Mr. Sage. And the District-wide Health and Safety Committee was Mrs. Fetcher with Mr. Gallagher as an alternate. So board members who are remaining and our new board members, please consider those positions, and we will discuss and appoint those at our reorg meeting on July 8th. So we next move for an executive session. Could I have a motion to go into executive session to discuss a student discipline matter?
Second.
Any questions or comments? All those in favor? Aye. Those opposed? That will take us into executive session. Therefore, this meeting is effectively over, the public portion of our meeting. Our next meeting is the July 8th annual organizational meeting at Central Avenue School, and we hope to see you there. Thank you for coming, everyone.